Nakuru Town West. Town West has 6 wards in Nakuru, and the issues are flooding, drought, waste management.
People were actually even dying out of cholera and some other waterborne diseases that actually come along. We have the chest problems, you know, the dust when it is shining, there is drought, a lot of dust, and this dust carries what we call the particles of, you know, contaminated particles too, and people inhale.
Food production, kuna wale walikuwa wamepanda maragwe na mingi ilikunywa maji, hawaja harvest. So it is like, it was an investment that did not take off. Food production has also been affected by, when you find farms are affected, the community where I come from, unapata laborers wa kuenda kupalilia ama kulima ama kupanda, au watu wa mkono wanatoka kwetu. So huyu mtu wa mkono pia akikosa hiyo kazi ya kuenda kufanya in the farm, hata rudi na chakula kwa nyumba. So it's a two way. The farmers are affected, the laborers are also affected, and they also come from our community.
And we also have the aspect of the rapid growth of infrastructures, like people, it's expanding. Nakuru as a city is expanding. So there is clearing of bushes for people to erect up houses, and the demand is growing as the population of Nakuru is also growing. Yeah, so you find out the activities that are happening are also increasing, and this one is really affecting the aspect of climate change. And also the biggest of the biggest is the naivety of the community. The community has failed, or rather we don't have the pushing mechanisms or influencing mechanisms to actually make the community feel part and parcel of the climate change struggles and efforts.
Kama wakazi wapo tunajaribu at least mitaro ziko karibu, tunazifungua, tunaondoa takataka, tunazifungua at least maji iweze kupita.
Jamii Ajibika CBO, we mostly deal with the policy, human rights advocacy. Like right now we are having ward climate change committees. So what we are just doing is we are making sure that we follow closely to understand these committees and their roles, and to see what are some of the policies that are rather promoting climate change, and just digesting them, putting them in an easy language for the community to actually interact and understand.
We have formed groups in our village which are led by the community health promoters. I am also the head of Nakuru technology units there. Under these units that we have, we advocate for mothers to change their lifestyle, behavioral change, the way they look at, the way they buy their foodstuffs, the way they cook them, the way they manage them, how they dispose them off. All those criteria, we go through them with the mother, specifically because we found that nutrition plays a very big role in the growth of our children. If they are stunted, they also lack in their education capacities. If they have kwashiorkor, they are also not healthy per se. So it has been a key initiative. It's part of the baby-friendly community initiative, to make sure that even though these mothers come from the vulnerable households, they are aware that we have indigenous foods. Indigenous foods include cassava. So we are trying to change their behaviors, SBCC, so that they can change to these indigenous foods by making the mama vibandas to bring them in the vibandas so that they are easier to get, and also by encouraging them to also purchase. Those who have plots that have not yet built, We encourage them, instead of sowing maize or beans, to do ngwashe, cassava or nduma. But in our place, because nduma inapenda mahali kuna maji, we advocate for ngwashe and cassava as another kind of subsistence farming. But so far, si mbaya, because you also find out that even when the cassavas have been planted, these mothers also go for the leaves as mboga, which comes in so cheaply because it's a new introduction of a vegetable on their tables.
As also a member of County Climate Change Committee representing persons with disabilities, is that we do awareness creation, community sensitization. Also, we have started the issues to do with the school outreaches, because primary and secondary, because we want our kids, our learners, to understand, to start learning the issues of climate mitigation, adaptation and resilience at the age where they are still in school. So we are doing those. We also do a cleanup along the riverbanks, that is Rivanjoro, Ndarugu riverbanks. Yes, and also waste collection.
We teach them on waste disposal. Previously, they were not enticed by these vendors who come, au wenye wamepewa the tender ya kukuja kuchukua takataka. So most of the households were not paying for them. But currently most of them are paying, because we talk to them, we tell them why it is important and how it also affects them, not ile ya kuona, but kiundani vile ina affect. So wakishaelewa ya kwamba hii disposal of chafu ina affect, wanakuwa easy kulipa hiyo 200 per month na takataka yake inabebwa. By so doing, atupi hiyo takataka kwa drainage. So our drainages become more clean. When we have floods, you get the water can pass through because the drainages are not clogged.
The partners that have participated with Twaweza have gained knowledge, have understood, because they have been taught on the policies, regulations that are there in place, and especially on climate change and other regulations. And this has built our knowledge so that we can interact more with the community and try to help them identify issues that are affecting them, especially at the grassroots level.
What I've learned so much is there is a part of insurance that maybe we need to get people who are involved in those areas, and maybe in our barazas we always have dialogues as community health promoters quarterly. So maybe next time I may invite an insurer to also come in and speak to those farmers about insurance and how to insure their flocks and how to insure their crops, so that in case of any risk, they are still catered for. They don't become laid back.
Nimelearn vitu mpya zenye sikuwa najua kama hizo adaptations. Then nimesikia leo kuna policies zenye sikuwa najua. So mimi kama learner leo nitaenda kufunza wenzangu, wanabiashara wenzangu, nitaweza kuwaeleza kukinyesha mtu kama kwa fault line at least anaanza vacate mapema, tusitupe takataka kwa mitaro, tusizifunge. Mvua ikinyesha maji kupita kwa urahisi. Then nimejua tena leo kutumia makaa, tunatafuta environment. So tuweze kutumia vitu kama gas.
The gap that I'm seeing here is people should come out of policies and teaching maybe in hotels, because people have been taught, people have information, and go to the grassroots. Create groups. Maybe you have 1 or 2 people who are following up those groups, and those groups come up with their own climate action initiatives. We go down to the community and we look for ways. Do we go and speak in churches? Can I go to maybe a church in my community and convince even the pastor or the bishop or whoever is in charge? Can I come with the agricultural officer and we do something here? And you allow your members to be there?
There is need to actually map out who are the stakeholders when it comes to state and non-state actors that are directly involved in climate change mitigations, so that this project could actually help them coming together, because we don't have. And if we have, we thought maybe the climate change committees that were brought will create something of sort, but kidogo kidogo tunaangalia the communities that we elected into the community, into the ward committees, climate change committees, they have been consumed by the pace of the duty bearers, and they've been silenced in a way. So we are even praying that programs like Twaweza, done by Twaweza organizations, could even print or rather expose some of these policies that these committees are supposed to be doing, because we are denied from accessing those documents that are illustrating the roles of these committees, how do they interact with the government, and how do these committees interact with the community, when do we come together. We don't have these procedures.
I would suggest that Twaweza communication try as much. I know they have limited resources in terms of finances, but I believe, and I would urge them as a recommendation, to do more, to come out, and especially I'm inviting them. Not that I'm selfish, but I'm inviting them to come and visit us in Barut ward, and to do even maybe a dialogue, climate change dialogue, because at the moment we are starting to do issues to do with climate smart agribusiness and agriculture, and also reintroduction of indigenous seeds and also vegetables. So I would request them to come up and give us support as organization, as a partner.
If Twaweza has got that muscles, can actually bring us together, number one, as stakeholders involved in climate change. Number two, support even the talent, of course, let me say creativity and innovation through art. We use art and talent into packaging this information about climate change to the community. Then the third one, just help into bringing this content of policies and the structures that are there, that are meant to address climate change, to package them to the grassroots, so that the community can also meet with them one-on-one. At the chief's office, we have a signboard, we have a notice board. If we can have this monthly content about climate for chief's notice board, if we can have these school-driven, community-driven activities about climate change, and if we can be having, that's just a moment, and special programs integrated in day-to-day operations of the county government. Every department, it's a concern. We've seen climate change is all about everybody. So every department should be talking about climate change, how to integrate these climate change issues with all the departments.
Okay, ningependa at least maybe kama kuna mashirika zinaweza wasaidia tumende to grassroots levels, juu at least sisi tumekuja hapa tumepata hiyo knowledge, then kuna mtu pale nje mashinani ajui chochote, ajui anything. So mkiweza pata hizo funds mtoke nje, mnatafuta vitu kama soccer, mnaita watu pamoja, ni kama hii group na hii group wanacheza mpira, then hapo hivyo then mnawapea knowledge wanakuwa wakijua.